I am going to make strawberry jelly with some hot peppers in it. I'm just going to use a cherry bomb pepper that I got out of my garden. They're really spicy. I will use the seeds also because I like a lot of spice. The recipe for strawberry jelly right here is just 1 pound of fresh strawberries. These were frozen. I got them in the spring fresh and froze them so that I would have them throughout the year. You need 2.5 tablespoons of fruit pectin and 3 cups of sugar. Now you can buy the Sure-Gel fruit pectin. It's 1.75 ounces for close to $5. Or you can, venture out and Amazon has Hoosier Farms. It's 2 pounds for about $20. If you're going to make a lot of jelly, it makes sense to, go ahead and get the bigger container. So I'm just going to put these in here. And the seeds, why not? Let's go for it. So this is our utility knife, professional utility knife from Pampered Chef. It has a lifetime guarantee, our knives. They are full tang, so the metal goes all the way through to this side. You're not going to have it falling off. They all come with a sheath. So if you're going to take it camping or you want to keep it nice in your drawer, you can do that. This is the tomato knife. I keep them in my butcher block because I use them all the time. And then, of course, I use this to open my strawberries in the freezer bag. These are our kitchen shears. They come apart and easily go back together for washing. So if you have kitchen shears and they start to get gross, how are you going to clean them? So these are made for, if you're cutting meat or whatever, you want to be able to clean them really well and sterilize them. So these are awesome. You should have a set of those. Here we go though. I have these strawberries. I have about 1.33 pounds because that's just what I had. It's a little over a pound. And then I have 1 cherry bomb pepper. I call them cherry bomb peppers. They're little round, spicy things. And then I'm going to add the pectin. So I want to add just these ingredients. We're going to wait for the sugar. It's going to tell us to add at one point, and we're going to, when it shuts off to add, we're just going to put the sugar right in and then hit the button and it'll just keep on going. So we want to turn it to the jam setting, which is right here. And I hit start. I can walk away now because this is going to make jam for me. Let this go. It's going to make the jam. And when I add the sugar, I can walk away again and it will make it for me. I don't need to stand around and babysit my jam. So I will stop back. This is going to go great with the homemade peanut butter that I made before and I make all the time. I'm probably going to make more again this weekend because we do eat a lot of peanut butter in this house. You'll notice that it turns itself off and on. It's heating up. This cooks. So this is going to cook the jam. This is not just a refrigerator. This is going to cook the jam. It's going to slowly heat up. It's going to spin. It's going to heat. It's going to spin. It's basically stirring it. So I will stop back. My strawberries were very cold because they were frozen and I thawed them in water, but they were really cold. So it's going to take a little longer probably to heat up. This is so smart. It knows the temperature. So it's going to get it up to the temperature it needs it to cook. So in this first stage, the blender is going to heat up the fruit and the pectin to about 212 degrees. It's going to take about 20 to 25 minutes and then the screen will display add. This is when we will add the sugar and press the wheel again to resume the cycle. During the second stage, the blender will heat to 220 degrees. At this temperature, the pectin used to make the jam will activate and create a thick, jammy consistency. The whole cycle takes about 45 minutes, so I will be back. So now it's just heating and the pectin, the sugar, and the heat combination is going to thicken the jam. And when it's done, I'll pour it into glass jars and it will sit to cool and thicken a little more. And I'm, going to have a great jam to go with the peanut butter that I made. So I'm happy about that. So this is so hot you can see it boiling. It is boiling. This is 217 degrees right now. As it poofs up, you'll see steam come out because it's so hot. This is not cooking from the friction of the blender like the Vitamix does. This is actually has a cooking element in it. It does have the friction for making smoothies, and it makes a smoother smoothie than my Vitamix did. I don't ever have hunks of ice left in it when I'm using the smoothie setting. So I just think this is the bee's knees, so to speak. I just love this thing. Yep, I'll be using it all the time. And I did retire my Vitamix. So it just went to end, and right now it is very, very hot. So I'm going to show you how I get this off of here. I'm just going to tilt it, pick it up, slide this back, and I'm just going to set this here because I want you to see how hot this thing is when I open it. Whew, that is hot. This is glass. This is extremely hot right now. So I'm going to let that sit a minute or two, and then I will pour it into these jars. I have the jars in one of our small sheet pans for many reasons. I have it in there so that I can, you know, if I make a mess, and I also can move it to another area if I want to do that. So, yep, there is the strawberry jelly. Pampered Chef also sells this long, skinny scraper. It's for getting in there to get out things that are thicker. It has the flat bottom to get into the bottom. The bottom has like a stainless steel bottom. And to get in and around the blades, this works wonderfully. I did insulate this between the pan and the glass jars just because I don't want to cause any cracking, because again, this is very hot. So now I'm just going to pour it in here, and it is a jam, so there will be, you know, thicker pieces, but I'm going to pour it a little bit to the top, but not all the way, leaving headspace. You can actually can these then, if you want to put them in a water bath canner so that you don't have to refrigerate them. I remember my mom putting wax in them when I was a kid. But I plan on taking a jar of this over to my son's later when I go to help him move his refrigerator back. Him and his wife just got a new tile done in their kitchen. So it's set and we can put the refrigerator back for them. But as you can see, it cleans up pretty well, but I'm going to show you how easily to clean. This cleans right on top of itself. It has a self-cleaning cycle. This has an element in the bottom, so you don't want to submerge this in water. You can just wash it out and hand wash it. It's fine, you know, and then dump it out. But I'm going to do it on the base and let it wash itself, all this stickiness. So I'll be right back. I got to get some hot water in it and some soap, a drop of soap. Okay, so I just gave this a quick rinse. You can see there's still, you know, a lot of jam on it. Jam on it. That's a good song. So I'm going to put it on here. I'm going to turn it to heated wash right here. It's going to go up to 140 degrees and wash itself. So I will stop back after it's finished washing, because I've shown this in many videos and I don't think you need to watch the full cycle or anything. So if anybody wants to, it's in my other videos where I'm making either the peanut butter or the caramel. But there we go. So I'll just let it clean itself. It's going to heat up and spin and heat up and spin, and then all I have to do is rinse it out and it's clean. And here is our finished product. It will thicken up more as it sits. Beautiful. Big fresh Pennsylvania strawberries. So I went outside and it did shut itself off when it was done. It did go to higher than 160 degrees, but it is ready to be rinsed out and used again. It told me end. It's ended, so I'm just going to shut it off. There's an off button here. Of course, you can unplug it too. I have the jam ready to go. I'm just going to cool it. It's going to thicken up more as it cools, and then I'll put, you know, lids on it, canning jar lids, and put it in the refrigerator. You can put a, you know, canning jar in this and water bath process these for keeping them on your shelf for the winter, if you want to make, you know, a big quantity of it. and I will be just sharing this with my son and putting it in the refrigerator because we'll eat it pretty quickly. These are not super huge jars of jelly, so we won't have any problem putting this on toast in the morning or our peanut butter and jelly and eating it all up. So while I'm waiting for the jelly to set up, I'm making peanut butter too because I just can't take my son's jelly and no peanut butter. So he's going to get some homemade peanut butter also when I stop over later. The only ingredient in my homemade peanut butter is just dry roasted peanuts and salt. And the blender just does all the work. And it makes a delicious peanut butter. So there is another video if you want to watch that. I'll stop back with the finished jelly. You can see it is starting to thicken up a little. I just want to show you how nicely this spreads. I'm almost out of peanut butter because I'm telling you, we go through a lot of peanut butter in this house, especially now that we make it homemade because it's so delicious. But we'll spread it on here quick. This was my homemade peanut butter, and here is the jelly. So it's so beautiful. And we'll get this out. I mean, it's set up just so nicely overnight last night. Ooh, that's a lot of jelly. All right, and see how nice it spreads? It is very good. It's a jam. It's a jam. I say jelly. It's a jam. Jelly is made with juice, and jam is made with the fruit. So there we have it. It is all ready to go. Just going to cut it in half and show you how beautiful that is. So there it is, peanut butter and jelly, homemade.